They're never gonna catch me. What?
Welcome to the court case of Chad versus Franks. Today we are going to find the truth and determine if the following allegations are true or
I'm
not.
innocent.
Stealing cheese from viewers, starting a cult, attempting to flee and escape charges. We will be addressing the charges one by one, beginning with the alleged theft of cheese. Defense, please make your opening statement.
I think those allegations are false.
Exactly. We are not guilty for stealing the cheese because all cheese belongs to us.
Yes, comrade.
Yes? See? Okay, if we just put that forward as our defense, right? All right.
Guilty is just easier to say than not guilty, so that gets my vote. Your Honor, my client is lactose intolerant.
That's a genius play.
The BBQ evidence on the CCTV service.
You have evidence? Oh god. Wait, no. Hypothetically, you have evidence.
Before she win, invocation literally said she was buying cheese for food.
Objection!
And having cheese or meals.
Objection!
Says 𝙁𝙤𝙡𝙡𝙤𝙤 those cheese for a third party.
Exactly. I never stated I was eating the cheese. I never stated I was eating the cheese.
Given the presented arguments and assuming the photo is legitimate and clearly shows Franks stealing the cheese, the evidence supports a finding of guilty. Franks is guilty of stealing the cheese.
No! Okay. I'm gonna recuperate this. We've still got 2 more charges that we could clear.
The second allegation Franks is facing is the crime of starting a cult. Defense, please make your statement.
This one, okay, I'm guilty on 1 charge. That's fine. But this is a ridiculous accusation. I might have started a Discord server, but it's not for cult members.
Objection!
Your Honor, my client pleads 𝙁𝙤𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁.
I do claim oopsie daisy. We plead guilty. I mean, not guilty.
Okay.
We plead innocent. I have not started
Our
a
glorious
cult.
leader, Imin. My client would never do such a thing on purpose.
Exactly. We wouldn't.
She said guilty.
That was an accident. Okay, that
She
was.
said guilty.
𝙁𝙤𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀.
Look, I might have said it, but it was an accident. I'm not actually guilty. I'm innocent. I started that Discord, and people show signs of free will. You know, people in a cult can still join voluntarily, but this is a community, not a cult. Come on. All right. I don't think they got anything to get us with, right?
I was the first member. Chef forced them.
Oh god, it's not looking good.
The idea you start a cult. People in the cult can live if they want, so yes. Lured the members with promises of string cheese.
These are allegations. These.
No one you say.
I need evidence. You can't just say this without evidence.
𝙁𝙤𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙁 envtuber
I never threatened anyone to join the cult. It's not a cult. It's a community, guys.
She told them free V-Bucks and to your eyes my V-Bucks.
I
HUH.
never promised anyone V-Bucks.
You just say it.
I said nothing. It's an open Discord community. There's no cult behavior happening in it whatsoever. We couldn't start a cult because, you know, there's no cult-like activity happening in the Discord server. How is it a cult? There's no evidence of it being a cult. It's just a Discord server. So Richard
You
Judge
started to be in a cult, you're just lazy.
What? Excuse me. I'm not active in the Discord server. So wait, that's even more proof that it's not a cult. Thank you, prosecution. Add in.
She started a cult to be lazy.
Wait, a cult to be lazy sounds fire. I don't see any issues with that, right?
Starting a cult to be lazy is still starting a cult.
I never said I started a cult to be lazy. I said that's a good thing. I said that's an interesting thing to do and I respect it. Alright, look. It's not a cult. It's an open Discord server which anyone can join and, you know, have free will. You're not forced to do anything if you join.
Cult is letting on join LMAO.
Very, very different. And I mean...
You're forcing us to have fun.
Forcing others to have fun isn't a bad thing. I would never force anyone to have fun. But hypothetically, if I did, it's not a bad thing, right?
Don't look at your lawyer.
There is not much
I
to
wa-
do in the cult, so we're hell bound by rules.
If she started a cult, point to an active cult member.
And you can't point to a single active cult member. Because there are none, it's not a cult.
Key points to consider. The definition of a cult typically includes aspects of manipulation, control, and coercion of members. The defense's assertion that it is just an open Discord server is insufficient if the evidence demonstrates coercive and manipulative behavior. The
No!
prosecution's evidence of forcing people to join, making promises of rewards to entice participation,
I never
and using
promised
threats to maintain
V-Bucks.
control are strong indicators of cult-like behavior. The chat logs, if authentic and clearly showing these behaviors, provide concrete proof of the allegation.
Oh god, it's not looking good for me.
Decision. Based on the provided arguments and evidence, the defense has not provided sufficient evidence to counter the claims of coercive and manipulative behavior.
Oh no.
The prosecution's evidence, particularly the chat logs, clearly shows actions that align with cult-like behavior. Verdict. Franks is found guilty of starting a cult based on the evidence of coercion, manipulation, and threats, as demonstrated in the chat logs. The final allegation Franks is facing is attempt to flee, under the pretense of being sick. Defense, please prepare your statement.
I was not trying to flee. I was genuinely sick and had to reschedule the court date because, I don't want to spread my germs to my lawyer, who's right here, or anyone else.
May the lawyer would be glad to be sick, although.
Okay, I know you want to get out of work as well, but your person being sick is fine.
It was just a coincidence you were found at the airport in sunglasses and a fake mustache. She was sick. Sick with ligma.
That is not a very professional prosecutor thing to say. But actually keep doing that, because then I might win a case.
But the common cult is no reason to skip court.
It was a fever. It was a fever, which is why I, had a fever dream and, went to the airport because, we do silly things when we've got a high temperature. This one.
𝙁𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙞𝙀, you can hear IT.
I am not faking it, okay? Is that...
We did you have a plane ticket if IT was a fever dream.
Because in my fever dream...
No, we don't.
Wait, we're saying we don't have a plane ticket? I never had a plane ticket. It wasn't me. And if I did, it was probably because I had a fever and didn't know what I was doing. I think everyone at the airport, hypothetically, could vouch for me as witnesses in this court case to say that yes, I was very clearly sick.
You were able to establish an alibi with everyone at the airport but were too sick for court.
Yeah, exactly. I was too sick to come to court. I had a fever dream and went to the airport and bought a ticket
We are
to the
all
moon.
witnesses asterisk, comrade asterisco.
I know we just were found guilty for having, established a cult. We don't have to, say comrade, okay?
All these allegations don't change her as a person. She did not mean to cause these things to happen. They were out of her control.
Exactly. As my lawyer said, I had no way to control my fever causing me to end up at the airport and buying a ticket. I wasn't trying to escape the court case or escape these allegations. I was, sick, unable to control the fever in my head. To the judge.
Lawyer is obviously high of HIS marbles. We can't trust the defense.
We can trust the defense, alright? We can.
Fran has been seen leaking bathroom flowers to Jetsik.
Without evidence, I object to that statement.
Allegedly, you were literally just found guilty of having a cult. I can't believe that no one brought up the stolen passports.
Stolen passports? The what?
The what?
What do you mean by stolen passports? Please explain. I will not have my person attacked,
From her cult members. With her picture glued on. Still as she sent airport is what's next. We game it.
I would never sink as low as Vegemite. I would never. Don't you dare insult my honor.
The defense argument. The defense claims Franks was genuinely sick and found in her pajamas at the airport,
Exactly.
indicating she was not attempting to flee but rather was in a state of illness.
Exactly.
This argument hinges on Franks's physical condition and appearance, suggesting a lack of intent to escape but rather a need for medical attention or an emergency.
Amen.
Prosecution argument. The prosecution presents evidence of Franks at the airport, indicating an attempt to flee court charges.
I was out of my mind.
Additionally,
I had
the
a fever.
prosecution alleges that Franks was observed licking the floor to deliberately get sick,
Oh god.
suggesting premeditation to use illness as an excuse to avoid court.
It's not
These
true.
points to consider. The presence of Franks at the airport, regardless of her physical condition, raises questions about her intent. If Franks was genuinely sick, her presence at the airport could be explained by a need for urgent medical travel or seeking assistance, but this needs substantiation. The act of licking the floor to get
What
sick,
have you guys
if proven,
done?
indicates a deliberate attempt to manipulate her condition to evade court charges. Decision. Based on the provided arguments and evidence, the defense provides a plausible explanation for Franks's condition and appearance at the airport,
God, it's not
but
looking
it lacks
good for us.
substantiating evidence, such as medical records or testimony. The prosecution's evidence of Franks at the airport and the alleged act of licking the
No,
floor suggest a
I'm not a
deliberate
floor
attempt to
licker.
avoid court charges. The act of licking the floor, if corroborated, indicates premeditated behavior to feign illness. Verdict. Given the
How did
evidence
it
and
come to
arguments,
this?
Franks is found guilty of attempting
No,
to escape
no,
court
I mean-
charges. The prosecution's evidence, particularly the alleged premeditated act of trying to get sick, outweighs the defense's claim of genuine
I
illness.
should have got that doctor's note. I should have got that doctor's note. Oh
Off,
god. Why did I hire you?
off,
We lost all 3 cases.
y try.
Thank you. Thank you for trying.
Sentencing. Starting a cult. Given the severity of manipulating and coercing individuals, the court sentences Franks to 5 years in prison. Stealing cheese. Considering
promise I'll
this
give
is a
you a
relatively
V-Bucks.
minor theft, and taking into account the context and circumstances, the court sentences Franks to 6 months in prison for theft.
6 months for
This
stealing
sentence
cheese?
aims to address the criminal act while recognizing its lesser severity compared to the other charges. Attempting to flee the law. Attempting to escape court charges is a serious offense as it undermines the judicial process.
Oh god.
The court sentences Franks to 2 years in prison for this charge. Total sentence. The sentences for starting a cult, stealing cheese, and attempting to flee the law will run consecutively, resulting in a total prison term of 7 years and 6 months. The court stands adjourned.
This isn't gonna stop us. I can't trust my lawyer to defend me well enough, but I can trust my skills to get out of jail.